You probably heard of gel nails with fiberglass. How about acrylic? In this video coming up. Hello, I'm Anastasia and today I will try acrylic extensions with fiberglass. We have nail, there is a little left over of old product, no need to file that completely. And then I prep the nail and apply a tiny bead of wet acrylic because I believe that's the only possible way to secure fiberglass with acrylic. And then I try to place it on the nail exactly the same way as with gel. With acrylic, the difference is that it cures pretty fast on air, so we do not have any room for mistakes here. I'm adding a crystal clear acrylic on top because I want to secure all the fibers. It is important so they will all be saturated with the product, the same thing as we did with gel. You know what? It's clearly not working, so let's just remove it and do it over again, and this time I will be using the gel base coat because this is how I usually secure fiberglass, so unfortunately we need to skip the first step. Well, not really skip it, just do it in a gel way. The reason I wanted to try acrylic with fiberglass is because when I was researching about this product, I think it was like last year, I found a video that says acrylics with fiberglass, and I was so excited to see how it should be done, and unfortunately it was just a clickbait title. There was nothing about acrylic in it, only hard gel, but still that got me curious, and that's why I decided to try it to actually see if it works, because everybody's using only gel together with fiberglass. I'm securing the fibers now. I'm using the Soak-Off Base Coat by Cuba, but you can also use any builder gel, any thin consistency gel will work for it. As you probably noticed, there's not enough white of the fibers that I'm using now for this nail, so I will have to use another piece of fibers to make it fully cover the entire nail. This is the same rule as we use when fitting the forms or gluing the tips, that the white of the extensions should be the same as the white of the natural nail. Then we cure it for 30 seconds in LED. I already have plenty of videos with fiberglass extensions. I will leave the links down below, and probably I even have to do a fiberglass list. So this is how they look from different angles. You guys asked me to show it. So as you can see, it's almost like a tip but flexible. Then I remove the sticky layer because we don't want that, and let's try applying acrylic. This time I am doing it the first time in my life, honestly, right in front of the camera. My biggest concern here is that we are not allowed to press on the fibers because they're pretty soft, and acrylic, when you work with it, actually requires you to press on it because this is how we shape it. It's kind of like polygel, but it cures over time, so as it hardens you want to press on it more and more, and we cannot really do this when we have fibers underneath. So I'm hoping to build the structure like this first, and then I will add more product in the apex, so I'm basically working kind of the same way as I would with a tip, with the only difference that I'm not allowed to press on the product. Also, it feels like I'm forced to use thinner consistency, use more liquid that I'm supposed to, which is not good actually. It is not good for the nail, and I just realized if it did work with securing the fibers on acrylic itself, it will still not be good for natural nail plate because the consistency would be super wet and the adhesion won't be good, and it won't be good for natural nail plate anyway. So I am forced to add more and more beads to add the structure that I will like, because I couldn't do it in just 2 or 3 beads. That's how uncomfortable it feels, but I hope it will be helpful. The nail already looks kind of bulky on the sides, but I hope it will be possible to fix it with pinching. So I'm working with a nude acrylic only, but as I will get closer to the cuticle, I will switch to transparent pink. This is how I usually work because this makes nails look more natural, and as they grow off you will not really see the difference. So right now I'm using translucent pink. I stretch it all the way down to the free edge, and as you can see it's kind of like an ombre between nude and pink, but you can barely see the difference because the colors are pretty close. Okay, so now it's time to pinch it, and I will also use the C-curve tool underneath because I don't like this C-curve currently. As my goal for this experiment is to use more acrylic and less gel, I will apply acrylic underneath as well because we need to secure fibers. If you will skip this step, then it won't be comfortable for a client to wear this enhancement because fibers, they are basically like hair, so they will start to separate from underneath after a while. So if we will secure it, we do not need to worry about it. From this moment, the acrylic nail is no different than acrylic nail on forms or on tips. We just take the file and file the nail, and seems like I have to file a lot more than usual. I try to do the application as smooth as possible so I can eliminate filing time, but when working with fiberglass, this time I couldn't really do it, so I have to do some filing as well as buffing. I buff the surface, I buff the corners, so they will feel soft while still looking sharp. Seal it with the top coat. And I just realized this is a gel top coat, but come on, is there anybody using regular top coats on acrylic still? I mean, I used to do this, but once we had this gel polishes out there, we always use it. So this is the result, and yes, it does look like okay acrylic nail, but it's just not worth it all this time and uncomfortable application. It was quite a challenge pinching it and creating perfect C-curve. Let me guys know what do you think. My conclusion is that fiberglass is perfectly designed for hard gel nails, and acrylic unfortunately will not really work with it. I mean, you can, but all the efforts are just not worth it. Thank you so much for watching. If this is your first time here on my channel, consider subscribing as I post new tutorials every week. And I will see you in my next one. Bye!